Welcome back, everybody, once again for another exciting episode of Reign of Chaos Wrestling. Thank you, Adam Uber, for joining us, for hitting that follow button. We are coming to you live from Uniondale, New York, for another exciting episode of Reign of Chaos Wrestling. And in our main event, we're going to see that no disqualification match that was thrown down between Mickie James and Paige after Mickie James stood up for the rest of the women's locker room after Paige essentially took Sasha Banks out of action through a TKO decision by the referee a couple of weeks ago. And that's going to be our main event, but we're going to be kicking things off between the Colognes and the Bar, the tag team champions. Don't go anywhere. Of course, Primo and Epico, part of the legendary Colognes family of Puerto Rico. Former WWE Tag Team Champions in their own right. Have not found quite a lot of success here in Reign of Chaos Wrestling so far, since it seems that the tag team division has been dominated by the Deck, as well as the tag team champions, the Bar, and the Authors of Pain. The Colognes have won their last match against, I believe, Heavy Machinery. Can the Colognes possibly do it again by knocking off the tag team champions? That remains to be seen. We will find out here as the Bar make their way to the ring. And here comes Sheamus and Cesaro, the RCW Tag Team Champions, the Bar, making their way to the ring. The Tag Team Champions successfully retained their titles against the Authors of Pain at our last pay-per-view, that being Mosh Pit, as we are making our way to the Autumn Rumble, the same event that kicked off essentially this promotion back in 2016. And that was the night where several of our champions were initially crowned, including Samoa Joe being the first ever Twitch champion, Bray Wyatt actually defeating Kevin Owens to become the first ever RCW Heavyweight Champion, and then Nikki Bella winning the Women's Championship, and Team Altitude, which was at the time Neville and Zack Ryder, winning the tag team titles. But here we go, out of the gate is Epico and Cesaro. Side Russian leg sweep from Epico. Now Cesaro countering with a back elbow strike and taking him down. Now Cesaro working the left arm of Epico. The Bar have been dominant tag team champions as of late. And now Epico being dumped up and over the top rope, and now Cesaro going to follow suit. Put him in the military press, but Epico able to escape it. Counters into a DDT, beautifully done. And again, another side Russian leg sweep from Epico to Cesaro. Cesaro, a two-time Twitch champion here in Reign of Chaos Wrestling and former GAW Intercontinental champion over there. And Cesaro being introduced into the ring post. And the referee, I believe at a count of possibly 9. Yep, and there it is, the count of victory for the Colognes over the Bar. I mean, a victory is a victory no matter how small. We'll have to see if we can reschedule that match possibly for later on, maybe a match that doesn't involve a count-out decision, but nonetheless, the Colognes have defeated the Bar in our opening contest. I would have to agree with you, Adam. That was a classic match if we've ever seen one before. But coming up next, we got some more singles action. We got Joe Hennig taking on Rhino, and then of course our next match is going to be the new Twitch champion, Dolph Ziggler. Also, Dolph being a two-time Twitch champion. The current Twitch champion, Dolph Ziggler, will be defending the Twitch championship in our co-main event, and then our main event, of course, is going to be for the women. Not for the women's title. I'll get it right. It is going to be Mickie James versus Paige in a no disqualification match. Joe Hennig picking up a victory last time in action. Against Bobby Roode. And then Rhino is just struggling to get momentum going since he's been at the center of attacks from the deck. Of course, we can't forget that Joe Hennig has already won a Twitch championship, has won the Twitch title in his career so far. He defeated Eric Young number of months ago, before he quickly dropped it back to the Bomber Dave Mastiff, and that's when Mastiff went on a hell of a tear as the Twitch champion, to the point where, again, the rules dictated by everybody's contract, if you can successfully retain the Twitch championship more than 5 times, you can automatically cash in for a world title shot. And it still remains to be seen when Mastiff will cash in his opportunity, since he's already vacated the title, but possibly we'll see it at the Autumn Rumble between Mastiff and Prince Devitt for the world championship. And there comes the man beast from Detroit, Michigan, Rhino. Rhino, another man who's been having a series of ups and downs here in Reign of Chaos Wrestling, but hopefully maybe, as this seems to be a lot of momentum, starts and stops for a majority of the roster members here in Reign of Chaos Wrestling, but here we go. Joe Hennig immediately double leg takedown to Rhino. And Rhino able to shove him off. Now a reverse power bomb from Rhino to Hennig. Collar and elbow tie up, and easily that Rhino's going to win that exchange. Of course, Hennig, being son of Mr. Perfect Kurt Hennig, has got a lot of technical wrestling background and high ring IQ acumen, just like his father. And now rake in the eyes, man, that's not the most honorable way to deal damage to your opponent. Float over brainbuster, only a 1 count from Hennig. Maybe we could see Hennig as a future Twitch champion down the line. We'll have to wait and see what becomes of that. But first he's going to take on Rhino here. And a spinning back elbow from Rhino. But what we can tell you is, again, it seems like the momentum starts and stops here and for the members of Reign of Chaos Wrestling, but I can tell you it's the complete opposite down and over in 2KCW, our developmental program covered here by Rhino. Our developmental program, which you can only watch on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Tubasplat over in the 2KCW playlist, which will air every Friday, every time there is a tape delay available for Reign of Chaos Wrestling on our YouTube channel. And a running clothesline from Joe Hennig. And a cover here. And a kick out. And Leroy Punch Beef is still the 2KCW heavyweight champion down there. And he's going to be taking on Eric Anderson at Unfinished Business. Kind of backbreaker combination. It will be done by Hennig. Wrist lock. Maneuver there. Rhino was able to keep control and reverse the momentum. And a huge chop from Rhino. Now Rhino setting up Hennig. Thought he was possibly going for a pile driver. Instead goes for the power bomb. And a belly to belly from the Man Beast. The ECW original cover here. Off the belly to belly suplex 2. And Hennig with a kick out. Rhino setting up Hennig. Short distance to cover, but that was obviously a short enough span for Hennig to counter a DDT. But now Hennig setting up Rhino for his father's perfect plex. Cover here, 2, and a kick out from Rhino. Knee drop from Hennig. Hennig says he is better than perfect, and at points it's not hard to argue against him on that kind of credential. Now Hennig slowing things down. Got his rear headlock here on Rhino. Again, the referee has to be aware that Hennig's elbow doesn't go underneath the chin of Rhino, but we don't have to worry about that. Rhino fights out of the chin lock. And Hennig sent for a ride up and over the top rope. Right hand by Hennig. And Hennig just firing off here. Both these men fighting on the outside. And Hennig with another right hand. Possibly even could have broken a knuckle or two off the hard head of Rhino. Rhino just showing the power on display, just lifting up Hennig by his collarbone. And again, referee now at a count of 7. This match is get brought back inside. And it does. Rhino's almost signaling the end of this matchup. As Hennig goes in the corner with a splash. Taking down Rhino. There's that spinning neck breaker from Hennig into the cover on Rhino here. 2 count, only the kick out from Rhino. Now Hennig looking to put this matchup away here. Looking for the perfect plex, possibly for a second timer. Going for a different maneuver there. Rhino able to counter it. A series of strikes into the corner from Rhino. Off the ropes goes Rhino. Dropkick misses from Hennig. And these two are just an all-out assault. Fujiwara armbar applied here from Hennig to Rhino. Is this going to be enough to make Rhino tap out the larger arms of Rhino? Rhino able to escape out of it. Now Hennig with a floating brainbuster cover here. And still only a 2 count for Hennig. I know Hennig climbing up to the top rope. We don't see very often. That's a very large distance to try and cover, but Rhino with a gore. Rhino intercepting Hennig off the top rope with a gore. My God. And that's going to do it. That's elementary right there. My God. Could have seen Hennig's spirit leave his body off that gore. We'll try and see if we can get a replay of that. My God. And here's the first perfect plex. I mean, that was successfully hit on Rhino, but we got to see if we can get a replay of that. That was a hell of a maneuver there. There was the rolling neck breaker from Hennig. I don't think we're going to get a replay. I guess we got Kevin Dunn working in a truck in the back, but nonetheless, we can obviously just go back and watch that on demand later on. That hell of a gore from the top rope. Intercepting Hennig from the top turnbuckle. Well, ladies and gentlemen, coming up next, we got ourselves our Twitch Championship match of the week. Dolph Ziggler defending the title. Don't go anywhere. Dolph Ziggler will be defending the Twitch Championship here in our co-main event against Bobby Roode. Again, the man that was just defeated a couple of weeks ago, at least, by Joe Hennig. And being told has sustained injuries off that gore from the top rope, off the top turnbuckle. So we may see Hennig out of action for a little bit. Being told he's got a couple of broken ribs. He's being attended to by our medical personnel backstage, but a big opportunity opens for Bobby Roode. The glorious Bobby Roode could possibly become the glorious Twitch champion by the end of the night, or the end of this match rather. Bobby Roode claim his first championship here in Reign of Chaos Wrestling as the Twitch champion. We'll have to wait and find out here as we await the Twitch champion to make his entrance. Again, as I mentioned, this is Ziggler's second reign as Twitch champion. He won the title the first time back at Final Bell in 2017, which also you can watch on our YouTube channel. Watch that pay-per-view in full. Ziggler won that title in a triple threat match involving Randy Orton and Cesaro. And Ziggler would go on to hold the title for 41 days until he ran into Kevin Owens in a Falls Count Anywhere match. And I still remember that match to this day, that Kevin Owens hit a package pile driver. It was a Falls Count Anywhere match. A package pile driver to Ziggler out on the floor near the entrance ramp. And Kevin Owens would win his first Twitch title. Kevin Owens is the first person to ever hold the Twitch and the World Championship here in Reign of Chaos Wrestling. So if Owens is going to be the first in anything here in RCW, he's going to be the first to hold that distinction. And I can tell you right now, this is going to be one technical match as two of the smoothest wrestlers in the industry, Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode, facing off. Of course, we all know Ziggler's wrestling history as a Kent State All-American. Holding records over there in Kent State University. And here we go. Twitch title on the line. Our co-main event. Ziggler flying in hot with a flying elbow. And Bobby Roode dumping him open over the top rope. And Bobby Roode seeming to be first championship here. I actually believe this may be Bobby's first opportunity at the Twitch Championship. As we take a look in our record book here, yes, this would be Bobby Roode's first opportunity at the Twitch title. And Roode making good on it for right now. Elbow drop to Ziggler. Cover here. Not even a 1 count from the champion. Bobby Roode, a champion in every promotion that he's been a part of, except for RCW. Of course, this is still his first year in the company. Double leg takedown here by Ziggler. A very high angle takedown from the former All-American. Left hand by Roode. Another clothesline, this time into the corner, trapping Ziggler. Dropkick very dearly missing its mark from Ziggler. power slam position, and Ziggler gets introduced to the top rope. And now Rude applying the rear chin lock. Again, the referee has got to make sure that it's not being turned into a choke. Otherwise, that would be calling for a 5 count, and then if that wasn't obeyed, into a disqualification. Into the corner. That time the drop kick doesn't miss. From Dolph Ziggler to Bobby Roode. And another one. And that time a splash to Bobby Roode. And now Ziggler looking for that famouser. But Bobby Roode beautifully counters into a powerbomb. And now Roode with a spine buster. Taking down Ziggler. Roode wasting very little time with theatrics as he goes for the glorious DDT. Floating into the cover on Ziggler, but Ziggler just barely had his left foot underneath the bottom rope, just barely his pinky toe underneath the bottom rope, and the referee saw it. So this match will continue, luckily for Ziggler. And that could have been the end of his championship reign right there. If one had to guess, wrist lock, counter by Ziggler. This time it's Roode that's dumped over the top rope. Of course, just like every other championship match, anywhere else you go, a 10 count will still give you champion's advantage. If you're Dolph Ziggler, you still retain the title. And to wait and see if Ziggler goes that route in retaining his Twitch championship. He's electing not to. Brings Roode back inside the ring before Roode gets introduced to the ring apron. Now Ziggler with the rear chin lock on Roode. Wouldn't be at all surprised if Roode or if Ziggler tries to take shortcuts on trying to slip his elbow under the chin of Roode. And now again, Roode counters the famouser into a power bomb. This may not be Ziggler's night, but Ziggler counters the belly to belly and again up and over the top rope. It appears that this ring is too small for the two of these men. That this match has to continue to the outside, but Ziggler is still going back outside, but not on the same side that Roode is on. And the referee's count is restarted. And Bobby's got to get Ziggler back in the ring in order to win the title here. Fireman's carry position. Ziggler able to counter to a DDT. Out on the very thin padding, out on the floor. Referee had a count of 6. This match brought back inside. This is a hell of a Twitch championship match. The super kick. And Ziggler did not get the retain yet, the Twitch title. And a spine buster from Bobby Roode. Counter or pinfall off the spine buster. Bobby Roode is your new Twitch champion. So Bobby Roode is the new Twitch champion. We now have a glorious Twitch champion. And his name is Bobby Roode. Bobby Roode's the new Twitch champion as we now come to our main event. As we now move to our main event, Paige and Mickie James in a no disqualification match. Again, Mickie James representing the women's locker room here, taking on Paige. Everybody was, after what happened between Paige and Sasha Banks, the rest of the women's locker room was afraid to stand up to Paige, but obviously Mickie was the exception to that rule, calling out Paige last week to apologize to Sasha on what she did, and Paige having absolutely none of it. So Mickie is taking it upon herself to try and beat the respect into Paige in a no disqualification match. As Mickie James makes her way to the ring here. She knows what Paige is capable of. Again, for those who aren't aware, Paige and Sasha had a match a few weeks ago. Paige had Sasha trapped into the corner of the ring and just delivered countless back elbows to the side of the temple. And the medical staff ringside were about to call the match, but until Paige got Sasha down in for a clover leaf, and she was forced to tap out, and we haven't seen Sasha since. She's been diagnosed with a concussion. She'll be out for a couple of weeks. A couple more weeks, rather. And it's all come to this spinning back kick from Paige. We got ourselves a no disqualification main event, so no countouts, no disqualifications. Only a pinfall or submission can end this match. Spinning back kick by Mickie. And off the ropes, leapfrog. Duck under from Mickie James and a spinning back elbow. Taking down Paige. A jawbreaker from Paige. Hurricane Rana takedown to Mickie from Paige. And at this point, if Paige does able to land those elbows in the corner, that the referee can't stop her. Of course, we got our camera crew ringside so you don't miss any kind of action. Whenever available, Paige getting close to the crowd here. Getting comfortable with the fans here in Uniondale, as they still continue to fight outside the ring, close to the guardrail. And Paige being sent into retreat, but she's still willing to fight back here against Mickie. Right inside kick from Paige. Firm control of Mickie into the ring apron. Now Paige again, series of forearms. Referee can't do anything about it to stop this match. Only here to call a decision. Tribal scream from Paige. Side Russian leg sweep to Mickey out on the floor. Now Mickey nearly avoiding disaster going into the ring post. Paige with a spinning back fist that time. But Mickey again wants to bring the fight to Paige. Was willing to bring it outside, but we're going to bring it back inside the ring. Standing suplex from James. And drop toe hold counter by Paige. If Mickey can withstand almost getting run over by Madison Rayne and Tara over in TNA, she can definitely take on Paige in a no disqualification match. And now Paige setting up for the Paige Turner. Electing to not go into the cover. She wants to deal more damage to the legend, Mickie James. And now Paige setting up for the Rampage DDT. Cover here on Mickey, center of the ring, 2 count, and Mickey staying alive. Mickey standing for justice in the women's locker room. Not to be stepped and trampled over by Paige. And now Paige with a standing suplex to Mickey again. And again, the tribal screams of Paige echo throughout the arena. Yeah, this is much like Rocky IV when Rocky was taking on Ivan Drago, where the Mad Russian absolutely dominating Rocky. Whoa, Mickie James with the elevated DDT on there on the floor. Mickey showing signs of life. There's the check kick from Mickie James. Mickey showing signs of life here. Now this is exactly like a Rocky movie. The good guy always wins. In this case, the good woman always wins. Mickey with a leaping DDT to Paige, cover here. 2 and 3. Mickie James picks up the victory over Paige. And for right now, this rivalry is at least put a stop in. It's been at least put to a rest, at least for now. And to wait and see what kind of fallout can occur between these two. Justice prevails in the end. Just like every good story, Mickie James picking up the win over Paige. And it's a victory as a whole for the women's locker room. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to thank everybody so much for watching. If you were watching this on YouTube, make sure to drop a like onto this video and to subscribe so you don't miss any kind of action. And if you're watching, and of course you can always watch us first over on Twitch at twitch.tv/Tubasplat, and you can subscribe to the channel that helps support the channel, but you also get exclusive perks like to our Discord server, as well as other perks, including who we will challenge for the Twitch Championship every week. And as always, we will see you right here next week on the Strike.